Hello, Dan Joss. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. So, I know it seems odd that I want to talk about harvesting today because harvesting is typically what people do during the summer.
Not February.
But it's February, so we're going to talk about harvesting, but harvesting of tax losses because that's what people can think about doing right now with their taxes and such, wouldn't you say?
It is, and the recent market volatility has presented some opportunities for tax loss harvesting.
Oh, do tell.
Well, what we've seen in the last 30 days or so is large, mid, and small company stocks on average are down more than 20%.
Wow. And that's typically a bad thing.
That's typically a bad thing, and so I say we make lemonade out of lemons.
Okay.
So when there is a decline, and so if somebody bought something and it declined 20%, they may consider harvesting that loss for tax purposes.
Okay.
And what happens is you can sell an investment at a loss and come to the end of the year, that loss that you realize will offset some gains that you have throughout the year so that you don't pay on the gains because for tax purposes, they're netted out. So if I have some gains and I have some losses, they could offset. In fact, if I have more losses than gains, I could reduce my taxable ordinary income by $3,000 in addition to the gains that I've offset. And then what I do if I still have excess losses is I push those into the next tax year.
Well, that seems like some sound financial planning right there.
Yeah, you only get to use the loss, though, if you realize it. And you have to realize it by selling it when it's a loss. And so opportunities like these last few months make that so that it's possible if the investor is paying attention.
If the investor is paying attention. And if they're not paying attention, they're going to be paying more taxes probably.
Could be paying more taxes, yeah.
Right.
So the rule is you can sell something, realize the loss, but then you can't immediately buy it back.
Got to wait like 30 days or something. Right?
That's right, and that's where the wash sale rule comes in. So you can't buy essentially the same investment until 30 days later. So what many people consider doing is selling investment A, buy investment B, and then after 30 days, do the opposite.
Okay.
So they get back to their original position if they want. And that's what we would propose that people think about. If you have a good investment, it just happens to be down, then consider realizing a loss and then undoing that and getting back into the original position after the 30 days. Because
you feel like the original one's probably a better long-term growth as opposed to just a buy and hold sort of thing.
Yeah, most people buy investments because they think over the long run it will go well. But there are times when, like we've seen over these last 30 days, or what we saw a couple of years ago, where there was a big decline and then a recovery, and that's usually how it works. At least for the 20 years I've been an advisor, is there's losses, they recover, and it repeats.
Okay.
So if there's an opportunity to harvest losses and avoid the wash sale rule, you'll save on some taxes.
Well, that's a good plan then. If somebody wanted to talk to you about these two things or some other financial matters, or just kind of wrapping their head around their financial world, what's the best way for them to do that?
Best way is to give us a call, 757-903-2127. They can check out our website, see who we are and what we do at jossbrown.com.
All right. Well, Dan Joss, you have been an excellent guest as always, and I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you with Money Talks.
Well, thank you.
Money Talks is a weekly program presented for the listener's benefit and entertainment. It is provided at no cost to the listener, and the ideas, opinions, and comments are not to be construed as legal advice, tax advice, investment advice, or other advice specific to the listener. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of a licensed professional or other qualified party when dealing with financial, legal, tax, medical, investment, insurance, taxidermy, plumbing, electrical, carpentry, real estate, chiropractic, veterinary, oral hygiene, hot air ballooning, etc. We have given you some food for thought. Now, call a licensed professional such as Dan Joss at 757-903-2127. Thanks for listening, and remember, failing to plan is planning to fail.